It was a bright morning. The sun was shining. Birds were singing. Momo the monkey and Diddy the duck were walking near the beach. "Today is a beautiful day," said Momo. "Yes," said Diddy. "The sky is blue. The sea is calm. I feel happy." Momo smiled. "I want an adventure," he said. Diddy laughed. "You always want an adventure." "Because adventures are fun," said Momo. The two friends walked along the sand. They picked up pretty shells. They watched little crabs run across the beach. They listened to the waves. Everything was peaceful. Then Momo stopped. "Do you hear that?" he asked. "Hear what?" said Diddy. "That sound." The two friends listened carefully. Far away, they heard a low rumbling sound. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Diddy looked at the sky. "Oh," he said, "I do not like that sound." Dark clouds were moving across the sky. The blue sky was slowly turning gray. The wind began to blow. The palm trees moved from side to side. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. "The weather is changing," said Diddy. Momo nodded. "I think a storm is coming." Suddenly, a small boat near the beach began to move. It was an old wooden boat. The boat belonged to an old fisherman. Nobody was inside. The rope holding the boat became loose. Snap! The rope broke. "Oh no!" shouted Diddy. "The boat!" The wind pushed the boat into the water. The waves carried it farther and farther away. "We have to stop it," said Momo. "But how?" asked Diddy. Momo pointed. "There is another small boat." Nearby, there was a little blue boat. It was tied safely to a strong tree. "We can use that boat," said Momo. Diddy looked nervous. "The storm is coming." "We will be quick," said Momo. The friends climbed into the blue boat. The wind became stronger. The waves became bigger. The little boat rocked up and down. Splash, splash, splash. Diddy held the side of the boat. "I do not like this." "We are almost there," said Momo. The old wooden boat was not far away. The friends paddled faster. One paddle, two paddles, three paddles. Finally, they reached the empty boat. "We did it!" shouted Momo. Diddy smiled. "We can pull it back now." But suddenly, boom! A loud thunderclap shook the sky. The storm arrived. Rain began to fall. Big drops splashed into the sea. The wind howled loudly. Whoosh! The waves grew taller, much taller. The little blue boat bounced on the water. Up, down, up, down. Diddy looked scared. "Momo." "Yes?" "I think we should go back." Momo looked around. His smile disappeared. The beach was gone. "What?" said Diddy. Momo pointed. "The beach." Diddy turned around. His eyes grew wide. The storm was so strong that they could no longer see the beach. They could not see the trees. They could not see the sand. They could not see their home. Only gray rain. Only dark clouds. Only rough waves. The little boat was being pushed farther and farther away. "Momo," whispered Diddy. "Where are we going?" Momo did not know. The wind pushed the boat across the sea. The rain fell harder. The waves crashed around them. Then, through the storm, far away, very far away, a strange shape appeared. It was dark. It was large. It rose from the sea. Diddy rubbed his eyes. "Momo, what is it?" Diddy pointed into the distance. I think that is an island." Momo stared at the mysterious shape. An island? Out here? In the middle of the storm? The two friends looked at each other. The wind pushed them closer, closer, and closer. But they had no idea what was waiting for them there. The wind pushed the little boat across the sea. The rain fell from the dark sky. Splash, splash, splash. Momo held the paddle tightly. Diddy held the side of the boat. Both friends were wet and tired. The strange island was getting closer, closer, and closer. "I can see it better now," shouted Diddy. "So can I," said Momo. The island was very large. Tall green trees covered the land. Big rocks stood near the shore. White mist floated over the ground. The island looked quiet, very quiet, too quiet. The storm slowly became weaker. The rain became lighter. The waves became smaller. Soon, the boat reached the beach. Crunch. The bottom of the boat touched the sand. "We are here," said Momo. Diddi looked around carefully. "Where exactly is here?" Momo laughed. "I do not know." The two friends climbed out of the boat. The sand felt warm under their feet. The air smelled fresh. They pulled the boat onto the beach. "We should keep the boat safe," said Diddi. "Good idea," said Momo. "If we find our way home, we will need it." The friends tied the boat to a strong tree. Then they looked around, and the island was beautiful. Colorful flowers grew everywhere. Butterflies danced through the air. Tall palm trees swayed gently in the wind. Bright green grass covered the ground. "It is pretty," said Diddi. "Very pretty," agreed Momo. Then they heard a strange sound. Rustle, rustle, rustle. The bushes moved. Both friends froze. "What was that?" whispered Diddi. "I do not know," whispered Momo. The bushes moved again. Rustle, rustle, rustle. Diddi slowly stepped behind Momo. "Momo." "Yes?" "You go first." Momo smiled nervously. "I was going to ask you the same thing." The bushes shook one more time. Suddenly, a tiny animal jumped out. "Ah!" shouted Diddi. "Ah!" shouted Momo. The little animal also screamed, "Squeak!" Everyone jumped backward. For a moment, nobody moved. Then Momo looked closely. It was only a small island rabbit. The rabbit had soft white fur and long ears. It looked surprised. Then it quickly hopped away. "Hop, hop, hop!" Diddi laughed. "It was just a rabbit." Momo laughed too. "We were scared of a tiny rabbit." The friends continued walking. As they explored the island, they noticed something strange. There were no footprints on the beach, no houses, no roads, no boats, no people, nothing. "Do you think anyone lives here?" asked Diddi. "I am not sure," said Momo. The island felt empty, but somehow it also felt like someone was watching them. The friends followed a narrow path through the trees. The path twisted left and right. Birds sang in the branches above. Strange, colorful insects flew past them. The deeper they walked, the thicker the mist became. Soon they could only see a short distance ahead. "This mist is strange," said Diddi. "I know," said Momo. "It was not this thick before." Suddenly Diddi stopped walking. "Momo, what?" "Look." Momo looked ahead. Something stood in the mist. A shape, tall, still, silent. The shape did not move. The friends slowly walked closer. Step, step, step. Their hearts beat faster. The shape became clearer and clearer and clearer. Finally, they could see it. It was not a person. It was a statue, a giant stone statue. The statue was taller than a house. Its face looked old, very old. Green plants grew across its body. The statue had been there for many years, maybe hundreds of years. "Wow," whispered Momo. "Who built this?" asked Diddi. "I do not know." The two friends walked around the giant statue. Then Momo noticed something. "There is writing here." "Writing?" said Diddi. "Where?" Momo pointed at the base of the statue. Strange symbols were carved into the stone. The symbols were unlike anything they had ever seen. "I cannot read them," said Diddi. "Neither can I," said Momo. Then, click. The friends froze. "Did you hear that?" asked Diddi. Click, click, click. The sound was coming from inside the statue. Momo and Diddi looked at each other. The statue had been silent for who knows how many years. So why was it making sounds now? The ground began to shake. Very gently at first, then a little more. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Small stones rolled across the ground. The strange symbols started to glow with a soft golden light. Diddy's eyes became wide. "Momo." "Yes?" "I do not think statues are supposed to glow." "I agree." The golden light became brighter, brighter, and brighter. Then a deep sound echoed through the mist. A sound like a giant door opening. Grrrr. The statue slowly began to move. Momo could hardly believe his eyes. Diddi could hardly breathe. Something was opening inside the giant stone statue. A hidden doorway. A secret doorway. And inside the darkness, they saw a faint golden light, as if something was waiting for them. Something hidden. Something ancient. Something that had been locked away for a very long time. Momo and Diddi slowly walked through the secret doorway inside the giant statue. At the end of the hallway, they found a small golden box. Excitedly, they opened it. Inside was an old note. Momo read it aloud. "The greatest treasure is friendship, kindness, and adventure." Diddi smiled. "We found all of those on this island." Just then, a magical map appeared beside the box. The map showed the way home. "Look!" shouted Momo. "We can go back." The two friends hurried to their boat. The sea was calm again. The sun was shining brightly. Following the map, they sailed across the water. After a long journey, they finally saw their beach. "We're home!" shouted Diddi. The friends jumped onto the sand and laughed happily. Their adventure was over. But they knew that many more adventures were waiting for them. Momo smiled. "Where should we go next?" Diddi laughed. "I guess we will find out soon."